there. Summer is my favorite time of the year because there's lots of berries that are becoming ripe, and blueberry especially is one of my favorite fruits. And so my name is Carla Schwan. I'm an assistant professor here at the University of Georgia under the Department of Nutritional Sciences and College of Family and Consumer Sciences. And today we have a very special guest from the Tifton campus, Juliet Chu, that is going to be joining us with some amazing blueberries.
Hey Carla, look what I bring you from
Welcome.
Tifton. These are freshly produced hand-picked blueberries. And this is a new rabbit-eye breeding lines that really excites our growers. I'm Juliet Chu. I am the blueberry breeder for Georgia under the Department of Horticulture. I would like to see what you can do with them.
That's amazing. I am just so impressed with the size of those blueberries. I've never seen something this big at the grocery store. So today we're going to use our blueberry spice jam, and it's coming from our tried and true So Easy to Preserve book. And this book has hundreds of recipes that were tested and validated for safety and quality. And so it's super important to follow the recipes as directed, the quantities, everything, because there's a lot of research and time that goes behind developing a recipe. So now I've been crushing and mashing some blueberries, and I'm almost done. Mm-hmm. So I'll show you. We'll continue to do this for a little bit longer. And here we have about 2.5 pints of the blueberries that you brought. Mm-hmm. So we want to thoroughly crush them, mm-hmm. but we also don't want to have, no lack of texture, right? Mm-hmm. So we want to have pieces of fruit because that's part of what a jam is. Mm-hmm. And so
we need to be just right.
Yes, it should be just right. Exactly. And so we have the consistency should be looking like something like this. So now that we have our berries crushed and they're looking beautiful, mm-hmm. we're going to start adding our ingredients. And so mm-hmm. first we're going to add our bottled lemon juice. Mm-hmm. We're going to add our cinnamon and our water. And now we are going to add the pectin. That is mm-hmm. super important. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to have it, we want to boil it just bring it to a rolling boil, mm-hmm. and then we're going to add in the sugar, and then bring it to a boil again for 1 more minute, and then we are done.
Oh,
it's
really?
Really simple. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so now we brought this to a rolling boil, mm-hmm. and you can see it's boiling very vigorously, so that's mm-hmm. great. Now we know that that's the time that we add sugar. And so we already have the sugar pre-measured here. We're going to add the sugar. Okay, so now we're going to bring it back to a rolling boil, and mm-hmm. we're going to boil for 1 minute. So we're going to set a timer for 1 minute. Mm-hmm. So now I turn it off. It's been a minute. Mm-hmm. And now we are going to let it stop boiling so vigorously so we don't burn ourselves.
That's
and
right.
we are going to get our jars ready for filling. Okay, so now that our jam is ready, we're going to skim off this foam.
Why do we have to do that?
So this is more for quality purposes, so it looks pretty. Because it's going to flow to the top of the jar.
I see.
But you don't have to. If you don't want to, you don't have to. It's just to make it look nicer. All right. Just gonna mix this a little bit. Can't get over how good this smells. Mm. Okay.
Yeah, the color is really bright.
Okay, that should be close. So now let's see. So we have 1 jar that is ready. So we have washed this jar with soap and warm water. Mm-hmm. And you could sterilize this jar and process it for 5 minutes as the mm-hmm. recipe tells you to. Mm-hmm. But we are going to skip this step, and we're going to process for 10 minutes instead. And so mm-hmm. it's okay to process for 10 minutes, and then that sterilization is already taken care of. And
that's nice. Make it easier.
Make it easier, exactly. And so now we're going to fill it up to a 1/4-inch headspace, and we're going to measure that in a little bit. We have this little tool that we call the headspace measuring tool, mm-hmm. and it starts from, you can see here, 1 inch all the way to a 1/4. Mm-hmm. And so we are able to measure different headspaces that the different recipes ask for. Mm-hmm. And for this one specifically is a 1/4 inch. So we're going to place the top of this little dent here, and we're going to see all across.
Oh, yeah.
It's perfect.
Hey, you're good.
So
accurate.
we are good to go in this one. And so we're going to do everything with the other jars as well. All right, so now that we have filled the jars, we need to clean around and on top of the rim. So we're going to use a clean paper towel, or it could be a cloth towel too that is clean, and we want to wet a little bit so it's easier to clean. All right, and now is the time for us to put the lids on it. And so basically we're just going to sit them on top. So if you want to try, I can do that. I might need some more braids. And so now we're going to put the bands, and we want to, what we call it, finger tight.
Finger tight.
So what does that mean? That means that you're going to put it on and you're going to screw it until you find a little bit of resistance and just a tiny bit more. So you don't want to crank it down. You don't want to really tie it down, because then you would prevent the oxygen that is inside this jar from coming out. So now they're ready to be processed. And when we say processed, you really are lowering them into this canner that has water.
Okay.
And we want to have at least between 1 and 2 inches of water on top of the jars when they're lowered in. And
so they're kind of immersed.
They are immersed. That's exactly right.
With 1 inch on top of
between
the lid.
1 and 2 inches.
1 and 2 inches on top of the lid. Okay.
So we're going to use this tool to help us. And so you can see it has...
We don't want to burn our fingers, right?
Yes, we don't. So we're going to put it around the neck like that. And we always want to be straight up.
Right.
Straight down.
I see.
We don't want to tilt it, because then some of the food could go into the rim again, and then, we just clean it. Otherwise, it gets dirty again, and it could interfere with sealing.
I
so
see.
Straight up.
Straight up.
And then straight down.
Okay.
The water should be at 180. And so we have been monitoring this as we were doing the jam. And so I'm just going to double check to make sure it's at 180.
Okay.
And then we will go ahead and get started. Yep.
Okay.
It's good.
All
so
right.
now we're going to lower the jars.
Okay.
Very carefully.
And then fold it
like
in,
that.
right? And
Fold
then let it
in,
immerse.
And they go down. So now I'm going to use the headspace measure again to see if we have at least 1 inch. And we have about 1.5 inches of water on top of the jar. So that's perfect. So now we're going to put the lid on top of it. And this clear lid is really helpful because you can see through and the boil when it starts without losing any heat, open to check to see if it's boiling already. So I'm going to
it's
put this on high. So that's high. And now we're going to bring it to a roiling
So you
boil.
start the time for 10 minutes after boiling.
After it's very vigorously boiling. So now we reach our 10 minutes of processing. And remember, we were processing for 10 minutes because we had not sterilized our jars. So
that's right.
We are good to go now. I'm going to turn this off. And we're going to wait 5 minutes for the boil to calm down a little bit. Otherwise, we're going to burn our faces, our hands, everything. So we're going to wait. This is not for safety, it's just for personal safety. Not safety of the product. But then we're going to wait 5 minutes, and then we're going to open the lid away from our face.
Right.
And then take the jars. So now we'll wait for 5 minutes.
Okay.
Our timer just went off. So 5 minutes, now we're good to open the lid. So we want to open away from our face. And you see still a little bit of steam coming out. And carefully we want to bring this rack back up and nicely sit it on our canner. And so now what we're going to do, we're going to remove jar by jar very carefully. And we're going to do the same process, up and down. And you might start hearing some pop sounds from the lids sealing, the vacuum pulling them down. Or it might take a little bit longer. So we say at least 12 hours for a good vacuum to form before we can check for, to see if it's sealed properly. And so you might hear it now, or you might hear it later on, or you might not hear it at all if you go do something else.
Right.
But at least 12 hours, we want to let them sit undisturbed. And we want to have this away from any vent that could be bringing cool air in, especially now during the summer. We don't want this to force cool because that would accelerate the process, and it should cool naturally. So that vacuum forms very nicely. So I also want to show you after 12 hours what we would do. So we're not going to disturb those, but this one we made earlier this week, so we can check it. We want to remove the ring band and look for any gooey, any food residue that is around.
I see. It's very
and clean
clean.
it. Yeah, this one is good, so we don't have to do that. And then the next thing, we want to double check to see if the seal is good, if there's a strong vacuum that is pulling the lid down. So we want to we can use different methods, but one of them is using a spoon, and we're just going to tap and listen to the sound.
Okay.
So you hear the sound?
Yeah.
It means that the vacuum has formed. This one is just this empty jar. There's no vacuum here, but you're going to see the difference between the lid.
Oh. Yeah. Very different. Yeah, very different.
So that's it. And if you don't, after 12 hours, when you check the seals, if you don't have a good seal, then you want to refrigerate that jar and consume within 10 days. So that would be it. So thank you so much for coming.
Wow, thank you for showing me to turn the fresh blueberry into something that actually preserved for a much longer time, and we can enjoy it at a later time, maybe in winter. Yeah, thank you so much for showing me this.
My pleasure, and thank you for bringing the blueberries. And as a special gift, I'll give you a jar that we made earlier this week, so you can enjoy it at home and hopefully taste it.
Oh, thank you so much. I'll surely enjoy it with my family. And I'll see you next season then.
Next season, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, see you.
See you.